Have you ever heard the saying, what gets measured gets managed? Well, in today's video, that is exactly what we are going to do with our spending and also budgeting. Hi, my name is Grace, and welcome to Frugal Norwegian Living, where I share my lessons about money, personal finance, and frugal living. In today's video, we are going to talk about how can we track our spending as well as budgeting our own money. And let's begin by me saying that you need to track your spending from the last year and not just a month ago or 2 months or even 6 months ago, because our main goal is for us to understand our money behavior and where are we overspending so that we know what can we prioritize and what can we lower down from our budget. So what I did is I print out my spending last year, the year 2020, and my bank is DNB, and it's so easy to find over your account, and print it all out and just sit down and put all the money that coming in and out and categorize them by their importance. So for me, it took me 2 days for me to be done with tracking my spending because I haven't done this for a long time. And now that I am serious with my financial goals, I realized that this time is a perfect time for me to be consistent with it. So I have just started again with this journey last month, January, and it's just so motivating to see what categories I can lower down my expenses and also increase my spending. And of course, to invest that money so that we can build our wealth. So that is basically my why, and knowing that why is so important because it will give you willpower and motivation to continue with this new habit if this is something new to you. So I have done tracking my spending and budgeting for like maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago, but then I have stopped. And now, because I am more serious about this, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And you should too, because this is actually should be part of our everyday life, right? Money is part of our life, and why shouldn't we manage it? So it is that important to start now and track your expenses and budget it so that you are less stressed because we can admit it that money is giving us a lot of stress too if we don't manage it. So it can give you a lot of freedom if only you can do this step. So that is why I consider this as the first step to financial independence because the benefits is just a lot and you can move forward after doing this. So um, again, print out your last year's transaction, and it is important to know how much you spend money during the holidays, during the summer, because for me that's what I realized. I realized that I am spending more during the summer, during the Christmas times than the normal months, and it will just not make sense if you just print out your month of May, for example, because nothing is happening around that time. So for me, the full year makes sense for you to really check uh, what is your behavior when it comes to spending. And speaking of behavior, I'm going to share to you where which categories I am overspending, and it's so amazing to see that because then I have the chance and the opportunity to lower down the cost where I am overspending. And this is the reason why I'm telling you again and again that it's important to track your history, your latest transactions, so that you don't have to repeat them again, right? So let me show to you my overspending on each category. Um, for each individual of us, this is very personal. My overspending might be different from your overspending. Every one of us is different in our behavior. Again, that is, I just need to point that out because that is just a fact that each one of us in a different stage in life. So just keep that in mind that we are different and our ways should be different too when it comes to budgeting. So my number one overspending, I'm gonna look into my phone because I wrote this down over here so that I can share it with you, is my home category. And my home category falls down with furnitures, with decors and plants, but I'm not really that insane when it comes to home decors, but I have specifically overspending in IKEA. I go to IKEA. I went to IKEA I think twice or thrice last year, and that was a big spending because most of it I buy for the furniture for my children. I have a 2-year-old now, and I want her to have furnitures that are easy for her to navigate, and stuff like that. And also, one of the big overspending that I did is with the plants. So I know now that I can like propagate, for example, to friends or to family that have plants, and that way I don't have to spend thousands of Norwegian kroners in going to Massachusetts, for example. So I can easily spend 1,500 kroners in just going to a um, plantation. If you're from Norway, it's like a store for plants, and that is a lot of money, right? And in just 1 year in this category, I have spent 15,000 Norwegian kroners, and that's the biggest. And if only I am tracking and budgeting, I know that I can lower this down, and the rest of the money can go to the savings or paying your debt if you have debt. I'm debt free, so I all the money that should be going to the savings. Or if you have a debt, it's a very good motivation to pay that debt, because paying your debt, especially if it's credit card, is just the same as savings, because you are going to pay for the interest, which is gonna kill you. Interest in credit cards are crazy, so you need to prioritize this, paying for that and not overspending in other stuff that is less important. So that is my number one overspending, is that going to IKEA and plants. And number two is just extra groceries. Now for a family, it's my husband's responsibility to go to the grocery and shop every week. That is because he's driving, as well as he's very good in lowering down the cost of the groceries. So, but my responsibility is to meal plan, so that we can lower our cost of the groceries too. But I wasn't consistent back then last year in meal planning. So whenever I make a grocery list and that my husband will buy, I needed to go out and buy what is missing for today's or the next day a meal. And that is just adding up, because when I go to the grocery shops, I can see something else there, and I might think that I need it, which I don't actually need. So that is a big big way for me to lower down the cost of our groceries. I also go to the Asian store, because my husband is not, of course, aware of what Asian products I need for cooking. So it is my responsibility to go to the Asian store. So I really need to put a budget to it. And if I go overspend, then I have to think creative ways to not go overboard in buying a lot of Asian Asian groceries. So that is my number two, and I've spent 14,000 kroners in just 1 year because of this groceries. That's I know for sure that I can lower this down a lot moving forward. And my number three is my personal category, which falls down to beauty category, skincare, makeup, clothes, shoes. So I have put it this one in one category, and I have spent 13,000 as well in Norwegian kroners. And I know that this can lower down. I am not actually a beauty person. I think I can label myself as low maintenance, because I don't go to a salon where I have to paint my nails or my lashes, and go to salon, because I don't really cut my hair in Norway. It's so expensive to have that services, so I just don't do that. And even before, it's not my habit to spend money in all of these services. So that was easy for me to lower down the cost of that, but it's still one of the overspending categories I have last year, just because I know that I can lower this down. Last year I have tried this 10 steps Korean skincare that I think I did overspend, because like before, I will only have four skincare products, and that is cleaning, um, that is scrubbing, and moisturizer and sunscreen. So that's how just minimal I have. But last year I have tried this 10 steps, and it's not actually that good if you are used into having minimal products to your face, because it will just react not in a good way, because it will be, I think it my skin was shocked into a lot of chemicals that I was putting. So I stopped it late last year, and now I'm gonna not do that anymore. So I know for sure that this personal beauty category will be lower down this year. When it comes to clothes, I know that I am not so crazy about it too, but maybe um, not the most frugal as well, because I am going after quality over quantity. I would rather spend more money in a shoe, in a winter shoes, for example, or hiking shoes, than buying a cheap one that I know that won't serve me well. So that can also add up, you know. But I am looking forward in doing capsule wardrobe, which I am also going to share with you. If you're interested in that, definitely subscribe down below so that we can do this together and just own stuff that we actually love to wear. So I'm in that journey, and um, I knew by doing this, my personal and beauty category will extremely low down. And when it comes to makeup, I don't really wear a lot of makeup. I only have one foundation, one mascara. So I even though before I'm not a beauty person, so it was easy for me. But I am in a quality side. I will buy the quality makeup rather than the drugstore makeup, because I see the difference, and I also want that my skin deserves the quality ingredients that I put on. So I am okay having one or two lipstick when I know that the quality of it is great, comparing to have 12 different shades of lipsticks, and it's cheap, but the quality is not that good. So I better buy a good one than a cheap one, if you know what I mean, right? So that is for my third category that I have. I think I can lower down expenses. Number four is educational toys, and this is one of my huge spending that I knew that I was doing, but I am just justifying it because it it's very valuable for me to provide to my daughter the educational toys that I would like to present to her. Now I don't go overboard too. She doesn't have a lot of toys, but just the cost of one material or one educational toy can be expensive. Especially in Norway, a lot of educational toys for very small babies doesn't exist here. This is why I started my online shop, and so that it's accessible here in Norway. Back then, I have to purchase it in the US or Canada or wherever outside Norway, and because of that, the shipping cost, the toll, and the taxes, um, I have to shoulder those. So the sometimes the material or the toys is actually cheaper than the shipping cost. So this is the reason why it got really expensive, and I have spent 12,000 kroners in just last year, and I know that this can be improved. As well, I am also thinking that when my second baby is born, I don't really have to buy these things because I already have it. That's the beauty of it, and also I can resell it. The value of it is really high, the demand is really high, so I knew that I can easily resell it with still high price. So I don't put a lot of guilt into buying these educational toys because I know how valuable it is. So but it's still one of my overspending. But I knew that this category will be better the next year coming, or this year coming. So my next one is my personal growth categories, because I love buying physical books, audiobooks, and courses to improve myself, to improve my skills, and to do this online shop that I'm trying to build. But I know that I can slow down a little bit and rethink if I really need it. So last year, I have spent 8,000 kroners for that category alone. So I am. You see, people are different. Like for me, personal growth and this educational toys. This is where I overspend because I like it. It's very valuable for me. And for some people, it could be their car, or it could be their art, doing painting, or whatever art that they are into, and that is because that's valuable to them. So people are different in that ways, and just by knowing that and knowing the number and realizing that, okay, I'm spending this amount of money, that I know I can lower it down, and maybe I can put a budget to it, so that I can just not go overboard, right? So next, overspending that I did last year was eating out. And this is so funny because whenever I go out and sending my packages for my online business, I would sometimes just eat in McDonald's or Burger King because in my mindset it's not so expensive. Sometimes I spend 50 kroners to 100 kroners just to have that snack before I go home, but that can add up, right? So now that is the cost that I am trying to lower down because, again, it can add up. So I enjoy eating out with my friends, but this shouldn't be, you shouldn't go overboard too. So I know this 7,500 I have spent in a year in eating out can be lowered down to. And next is my subscription. And a lot of these subscription are related to my business, to growing my business. So this was a mistake that I have made last year because it shouldn't be done with my personal finances. It should be under my business account. I have a separate bank account for my business, and these subscriptions should be easily go to the business expenses and not to my personal. So I have spent 3,000 kroners to that, and this year and moving forward it won't appear on it any longer. So those are my seven overspending categories, and it's crazy. It's amazing at the same time because then I have the opportunity to lower down the cost, and whatever that I can save will go to my investments. This is how important it is, so that it's like we're not living paycheck to paycheck. It's a beautiful thing, in my opinion, that I have done this because it's freeing. I feel like I have control over my life just because I did this, and not the other way around. Because sometimes we can feel that the money is controlling us and not us controlling the money. So I highly recommend that you start whenever, as soon as you can, and start tracking and start knowing your behavior, and begin budgeting based on your values, based on your needs, and based of the things that you go overboard with. And let's now go ahead. I'm going to show you my Google spreadsheet that I have made, my budgeting spreadsheet as well. How did I track it? How do I budget it? And I can link down below the spreadsheet so that you can also do it if you think that it can be helpful for you. Yeah, I'm going to show you right now, and let's go ahead. All right, so now we are here in the sample budgeting that I have made so that you can also have a copy and start your budgeting journey and also track at the same time. Here, as you can see on the first category, I have my income placed. If you have one more than income, definitely put it over here. Everything that money goes into your account should be placed over here. And then you can see each month I have placed here so that as the month goes by, it is easily seeable or trackable. And that's for the first one, income. And then you will see the total of each month as well. And then we go to expenses. So first, I categorize my budgeting into essential, number one, and that is being our house, electricity, water, grocery, transportation, and mobile subscription. So house, it could be renting or mortgage, and in our case, it's mortgage, and it's my husband's responsibility for to pay for that, as well as electricity. So I personally just put these things, even though I don't pay it yet, so that by the time I have a solid income, then I can contribute to him to together. Because again, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have an income already to my online shop, but I don't take that as an income, but instead reinvesting it within the business. So again, we're talking about essentials. Water, if you live in a city where you have to pay, or country, it goes under essentials too. In our case, we don't have to pay for water because it's for free. And then groceries, transportation, and mobile subscription. So in my opinion, these are the things that I cannot actually live without. So it is under essentials, meaning that I have to prioritize this to live by over the month, or over the years. And the next category I have here is for my daughter, Frida. And first is clothes and things things can be really expensive here because we are living in a four-season climate and it can be really, really cold and they grow up so fast. So definitely one category for clothes and shoes. Second is educational toys and books. As I have mentioned, I like providing to her educational toys and books and be intentional of what she is playing with and what she is acquiring. So I have a separate budget to that. And Barnehage in English is kindergarten. And we are lucky that it is a huge government subsidized that we pay very little amount, not even 50% of it. And we pay 3,600 every month. And that's a whole day care daycare. She goes to Montessori school here, very close to us. And again, that's my husband's paying for that. And the next one is recreation or fun, and this is under me because sometimes I like to bring her to a play area, play place that I sometimes I need to pay, or a museum, stuff like that. And I volunteer that it's should be under my expense. And for the security, next category is BSU. If you don't know about BSU, it's a high yield savings account for buying your own house. It's a system here in Norway that you should not skip to have, especially if you're younger than I think 35 years old. You should really get the benefit out of this one. Next one is immigration. I am not a citizen of Norwegian yet, so there is a payment every time I renew, and it's every 2 years. So just last year I have paid for this, so that is why it's there. And one of our security that I define is our stocks because um, stocks can be a very good investment as or your retirement. So definitely it's there. And Eigenkapital is down payment in English, so that we can uh, we can fulfill buying a house, and we are planning to buy a house very soon. And then Visa or Score is basically the annual payment of my Visa card. The next category is goals. I have my goal for Madimont. This is my online shop, my business account, and I just started this out. And the reason why I have this under goals is I want to reinvest more for this. The next one is travel. I like traveling and experience, so definitely I have to put on some savings for this. The next one is personal growth and books, and I really believe that investing in myself is very important to improve my skills and my knowledge. And then next is lifestyle. This is hair and skincare, makeup, shoes, clothes, accessories, gifts, for Christmas and birthdays, and gym. I don't go to gym. I don't have. I just put it here so that other people can understand that it's under lifestyle, or it can be an essential for you too. It depends again how you categorize or how important it is for you. Home appliance or decor. And then I have discretionary. This is coffee shop, eating out, and donation. So the last one I have to show you here is subscription. For example, Netflix and Spotify. The reason why I put it the latest is because I believe that you can easily remove this. We don't really need this, but this is part of our entertainment. And honestly, as a family, we don't have these accounts. So I just put it there because I know a lot of families have that. So again, these are the categories that I have made. And this is, of course, editable. Whatever is important for you, definitely edit that. And then you have total expenses on each month, and you will see total surplus and deficit. This is the difference between your income and expenses, and you will see if you are going over spending on your income. So if that is all happening, then you really need to work on your budgeting and change it a little bit, tweak it, whatever works for you. So I can show you, this is what I have made when I printed out my latest transactions from the year 2020. So I saw from January to December, total of each categories that I have spent. It's amazing to see that within the year. And I have started this year 2021. This is where is my new template. So if you have to have a copy of that, definitely check the link down below. If you have any suggestions on how you track your spending or your budgeting tips, definitely comment down below so we can share to each one of us and learn from each other. And if you found this video helpful, please click the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.